God's given authority, concentration, and deep sight. Thank you for the whole country for him again. Okay, class trial, all rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it!
Was that?
And then we were right. It's like, huh?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it! You killed them!
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
How are you calling a murderer?
Right?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know!
You're really the killer, or for example, we have to make that clear.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
You look at the bullet, the hero is off a message. Oh my gosh, head
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that! It's not true! It's a
Hiro, why?
No! Just hold on a second!
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they...
There we go.
No, what's wrong?
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the
Handwriting's
note that
different.
Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say?
Yep.
When you compare it to the blueprints.
Yeah, the handwriting's different.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro is innocent as well.
What?
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
Maybe.
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course he passed it out
So?
to me.
Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
The one that had been in the suit. The Illuminati. They all worked me on the team to try and set me up. They're super scary for serious. Like, maybe I should think about it.
I got it! Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hero is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hero didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hero was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption.
Yeah, but wait. Yeah, but Celeste said she saw robot guy, and then Hifumi said he was attacked by it's a robot guy with a huge hammer.
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around!
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body.
It was that blue
It
thing.
would seem
We
that
used
his
to carry
corpse
that.
was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
Yeah, the striker thing. It must have been...
I got it!
Still one more thing. And then we must have... There's still one more thing.
I got it!
Oh yeah, that.
They were a dolly and a tarp, right? So,
Attitude.
let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right?
Yep.
It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
They used to
Same
move
thing.
the body.
I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Might be
Are
Celeste.
you
It's acting really
absolutely
stuck.
positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
What?
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is
Go to
going
what's
on
the
around
left?
you.
I never had anyone sound so natural being so mean. Maybe I can change her mind. I can just bring them why the dolly was up in moved from the equipment room to the whisper here. I don't know how to add it. Time to flip battle. Let's hear more. Let's talk about reloading. Start with the next bullet time bro. We're gonna add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen underneath the tab mark, you see your ammo count. But turn out there has been a limit on how you store your opponent's statements. But on and press the trap button won't be enough to handle that. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single strap bullet. You can't destroy any more statement no matter how locked you are. However, you can reload by pressing square. Just like lockdown, you have to press Prince had with the temple marker. These runs square button has a function along with extra square. Normally rely on the star fever and more not to choose. Open like gestures, such a gentle for all. Which we can not everything to say. Open to the half cut.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch.
Damn it, no, so close.
Cannot agree.
This should prove it.
There we go. Finally. Oh, it took forever.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here.
Yeah, so select.
When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire marking that matched the dolly wheel's trail. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If you look at how the body was, it'll be clear what the person was going to have done it. We'll see me. Damn boy Taka.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over. Then you could push...
If you don't know what you want here.
The dolly, no problem. So the killer just crouched down and carted the body off to the repository.
If you accept everything we just said, then you must realize that whoever was in the suit couldn't possibly be the culprit.
Sorry, I don't think I realize anything.
Sorry, I haven't even really left better. But would anyone like to have any two stop? Sit down like that?
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment, and from there, the body...
Yeah, the culprit then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
No, that's wrong.
Shoot!
As we know, Taka was killed, and from there, the...
Yeah, the culprit then loaded it onto...
Now, keep in mind that the dolly...
Well, yeah, all you'd have to do is bend over.
then you could push the dolly no problem. So the killer just imparted the body.
If you accept everything we just said, then you must realize that whoever was in the...
Sorry, I don't think I realized.
As we know, Taka was canned from there. The body...
Yeah, the culprit then loaded it onto the...
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Yeah, that's wrong too.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
No, that's not it.
Shoot! As we know, Taka was canned from there. The body...
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off.
Now, keep in mind that...
Well, yeah. All you'd have to do is bend over. Then you could push the dolly no problem. So the killer just imparted the body off to the...
If you accept everything, then you must realize that whoever...
Sorry, I don't think I...
As we know, Taka and from there, the body would...
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp.
Shoot! As we know, and from there, the body was...
Yeah, the culprit then loaded it onto the dolly.
Now, keep in mind that the...
Well, yeah. All you'd have to do is bend over.
There we
No,
are.
what's wrong?
No, that's wrong.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
Probably not.
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
I'm blind at the back here. I can't see my feet at all. How you got anywhere in this game? I'm telling you, it wasn't me. You're not to mention, you totally can bend at the waist. It's like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
Yeah, it was definitely
When you
correct.
can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
So there's no chance the cars will take off smoothly. Oh wait, because can't take it off by yourself.
I don't think taking off the suit was an...
There's a cars that will take off smoothly because you can't take it off by yourself.
If you remember...
You can't take it off. Oh, what's up with it? But I can't take it off. A little help. Why would you make something you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make the stupid freaking thing. That's the crash on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty clear out. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. That's how it
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Nope.
Of course I wasn't making it up.
Yeah, he wasn't.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
Yeah, but Hero and Celeste say that she saw a robot suit take Hifumi. And then Hifumi said that he hit Hifumi really hard.
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but she must be the one.
You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo-Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that?
True.
Besides,
Must be
do you
Celeste
remember what
lying.
the now deceased Hifumi said?
How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. Oh god. Oh Justin, that's why I tried to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond
She's
question.
behind it, she's acting really sus.
The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Worried.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
True.
Perhaps, but
Parents
where do
must
we
be a
go from
cop or
here?
something.
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree,
We're doing
but
the
our lives
comics.
are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Yeah.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened.
We're doing the
I
manga thing.
suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone.
Yep.
That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
Soon as I clean up, get my coat
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after
Or
I
were
was
you?
attacked by my mystery assailant.
You know, you say that, but we didn't actually see you.
I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
Wait, you don't have an alibi that claimed you were there.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice.
Robo-Justice.
It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office,
He got clapped. Yeah. Huh? What's wrong? I thought she saw something moving around the top of the stairs. She said that,
When
but we
Celeste
didn't see
told
it.
us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor,
Yeah, she keeps
and I
telling us
yelled
to go
out
up and
to
down.
everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong? That was right on his feet. Something with you. Son, the strange costume man. Ran off as soon as I screamed. He's playing us. I was walking the stairs, so he headed down into the hallway and disappeared.
and then,
Huh? What was that? It must have been coming to the nurse's office. That call we have to go back.
at that point we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead.
Yeah.
And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
It was Taka.
Meanwhile,
Our boy
we
Taka.
had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room.
Well, he was like our leader.
We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time.
Bro, I really fuck with.
Because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Man, how did she know all this? She must have been the one behind it. Annie's body. That's weird.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
Can't be happening. We're hallucinating. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository.
We're informed. How does she know all this is happening?
Which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers.
Wait. Yep.
I see.
Sorry. Wait. Sorry, good thing it skips it.
The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
Very little.
It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
Didn't what happened to Taka. No one's going to turn this out to find them, no matter what. Kuma file 3.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know
question.
what order they were killed in. Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Remember, but did we use this in that order?
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
We're not that wrong. Oh, I'm looking at it. This is some weird going on. There's like 100% in there somewhere.
So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were. Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammer.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with, while Taka's death came from a swing.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after. So, I wonder if he, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed. Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice.
It's true that while Taka's death...
See? So it's obvious Taka came after. So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they. Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammer.
It's true that Hifumi was
Killed with while Taka's death...
See? So it's obvious
Look at
Taka
that, I
came.
think I know.
So, I wonder if he, or perhaps it was us. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the number.
It's true that he flew while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding
I wonder if he, or perhaps it was us.
we already know what order they were killed in.
Alright.
Shoot!
So,
I wonder if he, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the justice hammers.
It's true that he flew while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after. So, I wonder if he, or perhaps it was. We already know what order Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the justice hammers.
Alright.
Shoot!
So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in.
Really? Well, let's try this again then.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the justice hammer.
It's true that he flew me while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
Nope.
Shoot!
So,
Regarding, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the justice hammers.
Okay, yep, I know now.
Shoot!
There we go, got it.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then,
Maybe.
let's see the proof.
When the proof Taka was killed before he was what he must have died. Damn it. Let's see. Show the one line to Hold up. Wrist. W. Damn it. Okay, let's try that again.
I refuse to give up yet!
Let's try this again. Damn it. It's taking too long. It's taking too long.